Because, I mean, listen, you've been popping on the show now for almost 2 years, I want to say. And I don't think we've been having conversations like this where it's like, holy shit, they have two good goalies all of a sudden. Jarry's healthy, playing well. He's put in a couple of good starts, got a shutout on the weekend. Connor Ingram has been exceptional. He's allowed 1 goal in his last 2 games combined. What do you make of just the way these two guys are playing? And I guess my question will be, how much of this is just purely on like they got better goalies, and how much of this is like the team's also maybe playing a bit better in front of them?
It's a culmination of everything. Yeah. This is exactly what they need, right? They need 2 guys who can play because of this high pressure situation, and just the ability to go in and out. And it's not all on one guy's shoulders. If a game doesn't go well or a few games don't go well, they're sharing responsibilities. They're sharing successes and they're sharing failures together. And when you can share that with somebody, it is night and day when it comes to pressure. And there is a lot of pressure in Edmonton. There always has been on goalies, but there's a lot of pressure to win right now. And when you can share that pressure and that responsibility with somebody, whether that's 50-50, whether that's 60-40, some sort of equal opportunity where they're both playing well right now, it keeps you fresh. It helps you get through some downtime so they don't stretch on. All of it. It's a much healthier situation in such a pressure cooker on goalies to have that. And if these guys, they're building that right now. This is new for them, but obviously it's working really well right now. And it's great that they're just going back and forth right now. You play good, I play good. You play good, I play good. You can call it competition, but I think it's more of a partnership than anything. That guy goes and wins and gets a shutout. That's awesome because I get to come in next game and it's pressure off. It's just we're continuing to roll. It's not like, oh God, I got to perform or I'm not going to play. It's not how it is. It's just you win, I win, you win, I win, and we go.
Well, and also I think an interesting part of the dynamic, and we can talk about Calvin Pickard in a little bit, obviously, but just with Ingram and Jarry, it's like, okay, Ingram has now clawed back to the NHL. His journey is unbelievable, but like he's back and he, to an extent, has kind of revitalized his career with this run. And Tristan Jarry's locked up for 3 more seasons. He's worried about going on playoff runs now and staying healthy. Like that dynamic, it's not like, they're both pending free agents and they really need the crease because they're trying to get their big contract this summer. Like, I think it is a dynamic where both guys, and you can probably speak to this with situations you've been in your career, where like both guys are totally okay. Like you said, seeing the other one succeed, going, hey, if I don't have to play for 2 games because you're doing well, that's fine. I'll get my chance again soon. Like, it just feels like there's less pressure on them individually when they both play well.
Yeah, and this is a situation they've now put Ingram in a situation to succeed. And it easily could have gone the other way because he hasn't played for a long time and he wants to get back and he's waiting for his opportunity in the American League when it's going to come and all this. But if you call him up and you're like, man, we've dropped 4 in a row. Everyone's calling a trade Skinner. Like, here you go. And like, do it or don't. And just jump in there. And then you're approaching this as like, oh my God, this is my chance. If I don't go and win a game, then I'm back down to the minors. Like, that's just setting somebody up for failure. Now they've set up him in a situation where he can come in and get his starts, get his feet wet, start to get his game. We know he can play at a high level in the NHL. He's done it in the past, so this is why they got him and what they're hoping for. But you've got him playing with another guy who's now playing well, and he doesn't have to go into these games thinking that he's basically playing for his career over a 60-minute game in the middle of January, because that's just not going to work. Maybe it does. Maybe you get a flash in the pan, but to truly set somebody up to succeed, this is exactly the situation that you want to give Connor Ingram a chance to be as good as he can be.
So what do you make of this Calvin Pickard situation? I mean, he's just kind of seems like he's just hanging out right now. They're throwing him on the bench, but I don't know if this guy's going to play a game for them anytime soon. Like, what do you do? Because we talked about it a lot on the show already, but like they seem to love this guy, the players that be in, and I think management recognizes that and is trying to figure out how to also not get rid of him at the same time, which seems like also a bad idea.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think if they can play it right and realistically with picks, what he's done in his career, where he is, like he knows his role. He's not, I don't think he's expecting to go randomly play a whole bunch somewhere, but I know when I got traded to Minnesota, there was 3 goalies there. And on the stretch run, especially now we're talking super condensed schedule and Olympic year coming up here. where you're going to need both guys going. And guess what? When practice time comes, some of those guys are going to need days off, but the team's going to need to continue to practice. And I had Nicholas Backstrom and Darcy Kemper when I got traded here. There was 3 goalies, and it allowed me to play 38 games in a row because I would play a game, I'd go to the rink the next day, and I would not go on the ice. I would do my maintenance, do everything I needed to do at the rink, and then I'd come the next day and I'd pregame skate and I'd play a game. And I did that night in, night out for the rest of the season. If I was going on the ice for practice every day, it doesn't happen. Your body or your brain breaks down. And it's not normal that a team can have 3 goalies like this, but this could work out in their favor where, one, you got a guy who everybody loves having around. He's great in practice. He works his butt off. We know that. We know he can go in there and give you a great game in any random situation that he's put in, because he's been thrown in the fire in just about every way possible, and he's shown up and battled his ass off. And so if you can keep him around and just the communication part is the biggest part. There has to be communication with all 3 guys on what's the expectation, how it's going to play out. You just got to lay it out, even if somebody might not like it. If Picks maybe might not like it, I still don't think he's going to say, he would say, and I can't speak for him, I don't think he'd be like, I'd rather go somewhere else to play 8 games for the rest of the year and throw everything up in the air and change teams and all this. I think he would rather be this guy. I mean, listen, Jarry's had his injuries. He got injured as soon as he came here. There's potential of that. We don't know if Ingram's going to stay healthy. There's always potential. Plus, there's spots that they can slide him in if need be. But I think having 3 goalies with set expectations, knowing exactly what's expected of each guy, and if that's Picks being around the room, being a great guy, being a great practice guy, giving the starters opportunities to rest on off days, and having a good attitude about it, which we all know he will because he's that good of a guy, then that's a positive situation for the Oilers if the communication is there.
I do think that's a really good point, because it's not like, the 3 goalie thing that was going on in Buffalo, and I guess it still is going on, but like that's 3 guys who are all sitting there being like, no, I deserve to play. I want to be playing. Pickard, you have it where, he's not a dummy. He can look at the stat sheet. He knows how the games have gone. Like, they have 2 guys who are playing really well right now. I don't think Calvin Pickard feels like slighted at the moment that he's not getting the starts, but I do think he's a good pro. And like you said, he's good in the room. So it is probably feasible for a little bit longer. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered, from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.